Hey guys, so today is this gear, Wolfman WR1. I believe this is the 46 gap, a pretty mild gap. The brush is a High Mountain White from Bristle Brushwerks, and it'll be the first time I'm using it in an actual shave. The blade is a PolSilver. The gap here on the Wolfman is so small that a lot of the blades that I've been trying to use with it are a little too mild and is not as effective as I want them to be. So I'm hoping that if I keep working at different blades, I'll find one that takes this mild razor and keeps it efficient while still keeping it really smooth. And so that's what I'm looking for. So we're going to try the PolSilver today. I don't think I've tried it yet. This is CBL soap, tallow soap, and Cigar Shop Cowboy. I really like the scent on it. I've had it for a couple of years. Haven't used it too many times. The trick about this one is when I ordered it, I got a sample of CBL soaps and I really enjoyed the performance. And so I ordered a full tub, and this scent sounded good, and I was right. But the only thing is, when I got it, it was in the summer, and the insides were just kind of liquidy, even bubbling because of the heat. And so I contacted the owner, and he, without too much explanation, apologized, great customer service, and sent me out a new tub. And so, you know, how great is that, right? Well, I don't know if this is the old tub or the new tub, but his base just kind of is not holding together very well now. And it was a little more, whichever one he sent me second was a little more strength, had a little more structure to it than this. And so it's gotten, you know, potentially more kind of sloppy. But I've looked at his website, and it looks like he's got other bases going on right now. Back then I tried it, and it was a good base, and so that's why we're going to try the sludgy liquid base today, with a reasonable amount of confidence. I have used his in the Lather games this past year. I used one of his soaps. I think it's chocolate chip cookie or something like that, and it did great. It was a newer, it looked like a newer tub. It was a sample, and the performance was very nice. So I'm confident that this was just kind of weird, some kind of weird batch. But let's just kind of do a proof of concept that even look at how I'm spooning it. Even a soupy soap can still get the job done. And the CBL was one of those in my list of, as I'm hooking this out into the tub, was one in my list of bases that I don't use a whole lot. Just because, in this case, I really like the scent, but it was just because there are just too many good soaps out there. And I don't even have to spread this around. I can just leave the blob there in the bottom of the bowl because it's so soft. Of course, it's going to integrate. Get my face wet now. With this formula, I wonder if I left the cap off for a while. I wonder if there's some hydration in there that would evaporate, and then it would become solid again. I don't know. Might try it. All right. I have not tried this brush before. Like I was saying, I bought it as a part of a lot purchase, and the person just said it was a Bristle Brushwerks from Jeff Hook. You know, he's the one that does that, and didn't even tell me what knot type it was. So I've been left to my own devices. I'm going to shake out most of the water here. And the cool thing was these handles that he had there were three of these Bristle brushes, and in the photo the handles looked a lot smaller, and so it was to my great delight that the handles were a lot bigger than when I actually got him in my hand. what I did was I looked through his Instagram and Facebook feeds, and I actually found this brush. You know, often he does take a picture of a handle that he makes. And then this one had this very same knot in it, and I was able to learn that this was his High Mountain White. So that'll be interesting to compare this High Mountain White with some of the others I know about. Got a few days growth on me today. 2.5, maybe 3. So this little mild razor has a job to do. And so you saw it get super bubbly at first, but you know, never fear. As long as you got a decent amount of soap, that bubbliness will combine with the water into the lather and be fine. The neat thing about CBL was that he is adjacent or has a part of one of his other businesses is a butchery or something like that. They're near. They have a relationship with a local butchery, and so the tallow that they get is real fresh. You know, tallow that they're kind of reclaiming. That's pretty cool. And so this lather already is looking nice. Nothing wrong with this. There was a little bit of water in my bowl. Oh, I forgot to bring my jigger to measure my water. Well, we'll just play it by ear. Today's Black Friday. I don't know when this will air. It'll be after Black Friday, I would imagine. Good luck to you guys on snatching up the deals that you want. Now in this case, we've had a good bit of water in the brush. Had a little bit of water floating around in the bowl. And it sure doesn't look like I'm going to need to add too much water to finish this thing off. And you can see even now it has definitely gotten its structure together. It's a good looking lather. See, it's got a little bit of structure. It's holding itself up right there. And so that might be just right. Let's just go ahead and use this. Before my hands get all soapy and stuff, let's put the razor in the razor blade in the razor. This is just a standard PolSilver Super Iridium. And yeah, the myths finally came true, and they are actually discontinued. There's so many people who didn't believe it because announcements had been made in previous years to the same effect, right? So how would you know if this was going to be any different? I think what happened was they did stop making them several years before they actually ran out. But that's normal because they just make them in such big quantities that it took a few years to finally use up all the stock, right? To send all the stock out to all the different retailers. I was able to get a decent supply of them, and with the way I use blades, PolSilvers easily last me 30 shaves, 30 nice, comfortable shaves. All right. So we've got a few different brushes to compare this one to. High Mountain White. I've got the Sterling High Mountain White, and it's plush, and the one I have is a really big bloom, and it's soft. You know, immediately this one is showing me a little bit of backbone at the core. Tip's fairly soft. It also may be showing me that this lather is a little overhydrated. It did kind of feel light and cloudy. You know what I can, yeah, look at that. It's, some of it has come down, you know, to the handle, but a lot of it has just kind of gone away. Now, my face is extra oily today, and so that could be destroying the lather. What if I dip my tips over here in the soap, right? Let's just see what happens. Because that's such a soupy, I mean, it's beyond a cream. Let's just see what happens. Then I can dip over, get a little bit more of the suds to combine with hopefully that soap fragment. So this definitely has more backbone than the Sterling High Mountain White. I've also tried a Yaki, or a, is it Yaki? Umo. I think it's an Umo High Mountain White, and that one, the tips weren't really soft right away. I've got to use it more and see how it develops. The High Mountain White from Whipped Dog is a wonderful backbone. It's not this stiff, but the tips are not soft quite yet. I've used it a few times, so they provide a little bit more feel. This is a heavy handle. Seems like 75 millimeters long. It's got some weight to it. And you feel that weight more because you're holding it here at the end. You're not over here close to the center of gravity. So I think the lather's working out after bringing in a little bit more product. I could have just added a little bit less water, I suppose, but then I wouldn't have got the quantity that I want. And so sometimes I bring in the quantity that I want, and then if I have to bring in more soap like I just did, then that's fine, you know, because then I still have the right amount of lather to do the job. So I'm enjoying the brush, the feel of it. When there's enough of the proper kind of lather in the brush, it's soft. I'm not feeling that backbone, that core backbone in a bad way. It almost feels like this one, due to density, it's been packed really dense because it could be a floppy brush. And so for the first half, that density is giving me the backbone. But then the top half is where that the relaxingness of the fibers, as you can see, it's not returning back to its shape. It's being just a hair floppy, but that's okay because it's being offset by the density part in the middle. That may not be what's going on, but that's just kind of the way it feels. First impression, I like it. It's comfy. The only thing is the weight. It's a heavy brush. I need to work out more to use my brushes. All right. So we've got what looks like a good little lather. It's a little thin, you know, a little transparent, but as long as it gives good slickness, doesn't matter how thick it is or thin it is. All right, a mild razor, and we'll see how the PolSilver cuts through about 3 days of growth. Well, minimal tugging here, pretty comfy. Sometimes moving through with not any tugging at all. And with that amount of growth that I've allowed, because of kind of being on vacation, doing stuff, I'm normally a night shaver, and just kind of got into the end of the day and realized, hey, you know, you big dummy, you shouldn't have done this. You should have gone shaving. So your penalty is now you have to wait and shave another day. It's worked out because I've been kind of tired from traveling anyway. Get a rinse now. Just another occasion, as it turns out, after giving myself a rinse, feeling my face. This blade has taken nice care of me. Minimal tugging, like I said, and 3 days of growth, it mowed it down. this side of my face feels very smooth. I feel just a hit more stubble over here, but that was just the first pass. So I think we're in a good shape, and the lather's functioning great. So even if you get, I know grooming department had some soupy lathers, some soupy soaps that they sent out a while back. Sometimes even if you get a soupy soap, it will still give you a good shave. And you saw that thin lather, it worked great. Worked just fine. And I expect the same from this pass. So 46 gap Wolfman WR1, and this is the H2. Is it? This might be the H1 handle. I think the H2 might be that aristocrat looking handle. Going cross grain since it's the second pass, and it's very comfortable. Well, man, it really seems like I have found a great match with this blade here. Very comfortable. Other blades may just, the bevels, you know, maybe they're just not quite what this razor needs, being so mild. Some guys never struggle with this because they love those medium aggression razors, or even high aggression ones. So any blade, you know, they're working on blades to try to calm the razor down, you know. Well, that is really nice. I've got a very good shave here, even after the second pass with a really mild razor. So this obviously takes the best slot for this, for the best matching blade with this razor, with this head. So tremendous. I'm so glad to have finally found that. All right, last pass, and I'm glad I went and dabbed my brush in the soap over there, because about to use the last little bit. So I like his High Mountain White here. It almost feels a little bit like a Thader 3-band, but it's got a little bit more backbone, and I think that the Thader silver tips do need a little bit more backbone. But you can feel that the tips are nice and soft, but they're not uber soft. They're not, oh, you know, here's what it is. Like my Whip Dog silver tips, it feels softer than this. I think it's because the fibers, the individual fibers are thinner. So it gives a softer feel with the tips, and then also the bristles themselves. But these bristles seem to be a little thicker, but they still have soft tips. But they're moving easily. They're in the splay, you know, they're all comfortable. You know, like I said, the brush doesn't really return back to its original shape, but I don't care about that. Often that means it's got too much backbone for me, and but it feels really soft. I really have enjoyed using this brush. The other two, I was able to find one of the handles, one of the Bristle Brushwerks handles on his site, but it had a different knot in it. It had a 2-band in it, and what I've got in it is a 3-band. And so either that means for that particular photo he was staging a certain knot and he didn't mount it permanently, or it means somebody got the handle and changed their minds and re-knotted it or something like that. Well, I like this guy. The weight of the brush might take some getting used to, but that's the only thing. So let's do the third pass. Browse around your favorite merchants today. Maggard Razors always has some good sales. The first time I looked at their Black Friday sale, man, I had like a dozen things picked out I wanted to get. And for the most part, I got, what I wanted, and just got tremendous deals. But then as the next year, I got a few more things, but they often put on sale kind of the same kind of things. And so as time has gone on and my collection has increased, I don't find that they have as many things as I want anymore. But so many sites, Grumatorium has this crazy deal going on right now, 40% of their site, and 40% off on a lot of the items that are not Grumatorium items. He was doing that thing where he buys other shaving items like Barrister and Mann and Sterling and all this other stuff. And he's making his own gear, and he said he's trying to make room for it, with the razors maybe that he's making, the different soaps and stuff. And so it's been sitting around, and I guess it just didn't sell like he wanted it to. So he's knocking some good prices down. I just went through all like 23 pages of his Black Friday sale a couple days ago, and he released it a little early. And I picked out half a dozen, eight or nine things that I really wanted. And there were a couple things I could have added into it that I just figured, hey, you don't need that. Come on, you've got 80 brushes, whatever. And most of them at the end, I looked at what it was, and most of them were aftershave products. He had a great deal on Barrister and Mann balms, and I'm actually using a Barrister and Mann balm today, the Hallows. And I tried some of those Clubman Lustre, Coachman, and something else, those kind of ones you see in the old barber shops. It's probably junk. It probably doesn't smell good at all, but I figure, hey, for I think it was like $4, I'll give it a shot. I've seen those in beauty supply places, and I've always thought about trying them, and they're like $6 or $7 for this bottle that's this high. And I mean, I think that's a good deal as long as you don't hate it. But then once it was like $4 or $5 on this sale, I just went ahead and pulled the trigger. I found a Sterling balm that he has some really good prices on those, and I found a couple of Barrister and Mann EDTs, the Fougere Fougere Imperial and Fougere Aromatique. He had a good discount on those EDTs, and they were still more than just $10. But I decided to risk it anyway. Will is just such an artist. One of them, especially the Aromatique, might be a little more feminine. It's designed to be a fern type of Fougere type scent. The other one I bet I'm gonna like, the Fougere Imperial. I'm sorry, maybe that's what it is. The non-aromatique one. It has a better chance of me liking it on the blind buy, but we'll just have to see. You just never know. But it was such a good deal, and I figured I could probably resell it for this same that I'm getting, these great Black Friday deals. And so let's go for it. Let's pull the trigger. So this shave has been close. The soap is soupy and sludgy, and you can see it move, but my face feels great. The slickness was excellent. I have this silky, soft, kind of supple feel to my face. Wonderful job. Wonderful job. So, in a sense, I don't care if he ever fixes the formula. It just works, right? But I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's noticed a few people mention if this was a batch, that went bad. I'm sure anybody who got a hold of that batch contacted him about it. And hey, as long as you're a vendor who makes it right, then people like me can order with confidence. I need to find out about his soaps, because when looking around for the lid, when I first went to his site, all of the soaps looked like this style, and so the name was the only thing that would change. And he may have had a vegan version or a version on his site that was not the premium tallow, but it may have just been the premium tallow. But now when you go to his site, he's got whole different themes. There are a few that have this same design. And so maybe they're older holdouts that just haven't sold yet, or he just hasn't changed them to the new design. And I don't know if the new design brings a new soap base. It appeared that there were different soap bases going on. I'd love to communicate with him and find out about that so I can know what I'm ordering. Because, I mean, based on this and based on some of the scents that I was looking at, yes, this is timely because just yesterday or the day before, I was just browsing the usual shave forums and I came across one where they were mentioning Princess Bride, the movie, references, and it was because CBL had put out a Dread Pirate Roberts scent. How cool is that, right? I mean, that's kind of my thing. That's my generation. That was a special movie to us, and so to have a good scent based on that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? And so that'll be interesting. Now it had some mint and some, not sage, but maybe sage, some type of ingredient that often jumps out at me as if it's dominant in the scent. I almost never like mint scents. Then I don't like the soap. And so I need to find out from him where the percentages lie. You know, where does that mint and the other ingredient, where do they factor in the whole accord? And hopefully he'll respond back. But all the rest of the scent sounded really good. The rest of the parts of the description sounded like something I'd really enjoy. So there we go. I'm going to check that out for sure. All right, well, that's CBL, and it's a great shave. Skin feels great. Nourished, but not overly so, not oily and sticky and that sort of thing. I don't need to use a balm, but I just wanted to smell like Hallows today, and I also want the balm to not go to waste. I don't want it to age and go bad like some balms can. I didn't have any fear ordering the Barrister and Mann EDTs that I was telling you about, because they're alcohol based, you know, as most colognes are, and so you're just not gonna see those expire in your lifetime, probably. I mean, maybe, but I'm getting old, so maybe I won't. Putting this on a little damp skin, and it goes on really nicely, and that'll be a fun thing to smell during this. I guess it's fall. Yeah, it must still be fall during this nice fall day. So, really nice shave. I'm glad I chose to use the CBL anyway, because even if it was a little sludgy, it worked really well. The PolSilver performed wonderfully in this razor. I thoroughly enjoyed the brush, the High Mountain White knot that Bristle Brushwerks was using several years ago. Is a one that I enjoy. It's got a little bit of backbone to it, but I really only feel that in a negative way if my lather's too thin. And so once I beefed up my lather by dipping back into the soap, all that backbone, core backbone, just disappeared, because it let the bristles then move around like they should move around. And so that's a win as well. The only ding, like I said, was the weight of it, but that might be something I get used to as I use it more. So there we go, a nice shave, and it easily took off. 3 days of growth, giving me a really close experience. So I'll bet there's another blade other than the PolSilver that will work nicely in this razor. We'll just keep looking and keep playing around. But there we go, Black Friday shave. I'm aptly wearing a black shirt, and it wasn't intentional. What I was remembering was not to wear. I have a shirt that matches that wall back there, and I was trying not to wear that. All right, well, best of luck to you guys in your gear hunting forays today, Black Friday, and maybe wishing them to you after the fact. But also, most of all, Black Friday is a day after a wonderful holiday where we think about how thankful we are to friends and family I'm thankful for you guys. I get a great amount of enjoyment with interacting with you guys over the years. There's some guys who have stuck with me for a nice long time, and they'll jump in every once in a while and say hey, and some of them say, hey, I'm still watching. I may not talk too much, but I'm still watching. And then new friends. Warren is a guy I'm enjoying talking with these days. But he wasn't around last year, I don't think, or at least not in the way he is now. And so it's neat the way friends come and go in this little adventure here. And so I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for this wonderful shaving hobby that some of us have discovered and we get to enjoy every day. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my family and all those things that matter of fact, I'm visiting family this weekend now, having fun with that. And so there we go. Thankful for the provision of God to take care of me all these days, and giving me food every day, and a roof over my head, and friends and family to be with. And He's just given me a lot of blessings. And I'm most of all grateful to Him for the salvation that I have, and those other gifts that the blessings that He provides. All the best to you guys. Many blessings to you in this season and this weekend. Take care, guys. Have a good day.